Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Sonic Multiverse. Today we're jumping right back into what if Sonic became a werehog earlier, and proceeding with the events of Sonic CD. Without further delay, let's jump right in. Sonic, Amy, and Chip continued their march across Little Planet, heading from the Palm Tree Panic Zone to Collision Chaos. All the while, the Blue Hero was explaining his previous adventure to his new friends. So Robotnik stole all 6 Chaos Emeralds from me and tried blowing me up with a death laser. But I dodged it, of course. Although, I think that blast may have split the planet. Really? Well, how are you gonna fix the Earth? I'm still figuring that part out, Chip. I'm hoping the Chaos Emeralds can help with that. Amy tried to encourage her hero. Of course you can. I believe in you, Sonic. I'm sure if you try, you can do anything. Sonic smiled a little bit. You're right. I'm sure I can. Until then, I just need to... Sonic's words died out. He felt an emptiness in his stomach. As the sun began to set in the distance, he felt the energy that fueled his new form rising up. In a flash of light, Sonic emerged as the werehog once more. Until then, I'm gonna have to deal with this.
Well, in this or any form, I still think you look quite handsome.
Gee, thanks. But I don't need compliments. What I need are... Sonic's words were cut short, as the sound of a jet engine could be heard from the distance. Suddenly, without any warning, a blazing object smashed through a nearby spike wall, appearing in front of the heroes. It resembled Sonic's base form, but was metallic with blood-red eyes in a menacing stance. I see you're Robotnik's latest toy. Well, if you think you're stopping me, then you got another thing. The robot ignored Sonic's comment, simply electrifying himself, knocking the werehog aside and charging for Amy Rose. Without uttering a word, he approached the young hedgehog. She whimpered, but he didn't care. The fake Sonic prepared to snatch her away. But that's when he felt a tug on his leg. The werehog swung the imposter over his head before slamming him into the grass. He then smashed him into the dirt again and again. The robot took such a beating that one of his arms snapped clean off. Leave her alone! With one last pile drive, it became quickly transparent that this robot was greatly outmatched compared to the raw strength that was the werehog. As the robot lay down on the floor and Sonic's temper finally began to mellow, Chip cheered in joy. Yeah, you showed him who's boss, Sonic. Yeah, I let Robotnik get the jump on me once before. I'm not letting one of his toys do the same. The machine looked up at the small pixie. He sensed a strong energy source coming from Chip. With the new information at hand, the robot decided to change his target. With a blast of noise, the machine took off, and with the only good hand it had left, it snatched up Chip before making a tactical retreat. Chip! Hang in there, buddy! The werehog ran on all fours, desperately trying to keep up with this metal Sonic, but to no prevail. Damn! He got away!
Don't worry, Sonic. I'm sure we'll catch him.
Sonic didn't respond to Amy's words. He simply went on all fours once more, scampering after his robotic double, or alternatively, Dr. Robotnik himself.
Sonic, wait up!
Amy began to chase after the blue hero, but as an amateur adventurer, she fell off of the main course, collapsing onto the ground. As she got up, she discovered a giant golden ring.
What do we have here?
Elsewhere, Sonic had traveled to the darkest and most industrial portion of the zone to find Robotnik. His hunch was correct. This was where the egg-shaped man was prepared. Though he was high up, the doctor saw a blue blur at the bottom of the arena. Well, if it isn't Sonic! I'm surprised to see you made it this far. The doctor paused. Wait a minute. You can't be Sonic, can you? The one and only Doc. Robotnik was shocked. He had never seen a werehog before. So this is the condition he was talking about. No matter, in this or any form, I will crush you, my annoying little pest. Despite the doctor's prediction, the werehog made quick work of the doctor's newest invention. He gripped hard onto the eggmobile and demanded, "Enough games, Doc. Where's Chip?" "Ha! I haven't the foggiest idea of what you're talking about. But it doesn't matter. I rule this zone. In a matter of moments, my badniks will swarm you and destroy you once and for all." But to the doctor's shock, his army didn't respond. Instead, the entire zone's pollution simply vanished as if it never existed. Flickies frolicked, plants grew, and Sonic returned to his base form as the sun could finally pass through the clouds. "What? No! What happened to my beautiful polluted paradise?" "I know this is your fault somehow, Sonic. You'll pay for this." With his fist returning to its normal size, he couldn't stop the doctor from flying off to prepare his next plan. Sonic glared at Robotnik before smirking. "We'll see who pays when this is over, Egghead." Just then, a pink hedgehog ran up alongside Sonic. "I finally caught up with you, Sonic." "Oh, Amy. You're making a real habit of showing up when the fight's over, aren't you? You wouldn't happen to have anything to do with, well, everything going back to normal?"
I'm honestly not sure. When we got separated, I came across this giant ring. I jumped into it, and before I knew it, I found this. Amy presented a yellow gemstone. Once I touched it, everything went white, and then I was sent here.
Amy handed the stone to Sonic. "Weird. This is kind of like the Chaos Emeralds, but its mojo's all wrong." "Well, anyway, I guess it can't be all bad. It did fix the zone after all."
There might be more of these across the planet. We should keep an eye out for them.
Yeah, Look, Amy, I can handle Robotnik. You just look after the flickies around here.
Oh, come on. I can do more than that.
Look, I'm sure you can, but I work best on my own. So while I go stop Robotnik, you just make sure things don't get worse here. I'll let you know when I find Chip.
But I really can help. I can use my tarot cards to warn you of danger.
Oh, come on, let's not kid ourselves. As if anything's gonna catch me off. A machine suddenly jumped out of the bushes, springing onto Sonic. Amy leaped into action, shoving the machine off of Sonic, giving him a chance to counterattack. Within a moment, the badnik was in bits. Amy innocently smiled.
So, nothing catches you off guard?
Sonic accepted defeat. Okay, you can tag along, Amy, but keep up. With that, the two raced off to Tidal Tempest Zone. Dr. Robotnik had returned to his base, Metallic Madness. The doctor noticed that his latest creation had returned, without Amy Rose and one of his arms. Metal Sonic, of course you failed me. I told you to kidnap his annoying little girlfriend. You couldn't even do that. It was only then he realized Metal had brought something home, just not the person he was expecting. You won't get away with this. Sonic will come and save me soon. Oh, you're one of Sonic's little friends. I take it you must be Chip. A pleasure to finally... Ivo was cut off as Chip's bracelet began to glow. All the technology in the lab began to light up before immediately ceasing as Chip's bracelet went dark once more. Fascinating find, Metal. It seems this little pipsqueak has some juice in him. The doctor looked at the pixie, then at the damaged Metal Sonic, then back at the pixie. Well, looks like you'll need some upgrades anyway, Metal. And I think we found the perfect power source. Our adventure continues as Sonic and Amy make their way across Little Planet. During their escapades, they run into a couple peculiar posts saying past and future on them. To their shock, as they run past one of the signs, they're sent 24 hours back in time.
As they try to figure out just what the heck just happened, they find a robot generator. They quickly destroy it before finding a future sign. As they return to the present, everything is sunshine and rainbows, with all the badniks, save for a few stragglers, being all gone. Seeing this as an effective strategy to save the planet from disaster, they decide to rinse and repeat this method for a bit. Zone by zone, generator by generator, they begin to fix Little Planet, all the while keeping their eyes out for the time stones. Near the end of each zone, Robotnik is waiting in some new contraption. Whether he's in his normal or werehog form, Sonic always seems to make quick work of these machines. Maybe a little too quick. Sonic, didn't that seem a little easy? Robotnik isn't exactly a fighter, Ames. Granted, but we did see him build that metal Sonic. I mean, if he can build that, you'd think he would build something a bit more menacing? Look, Ames, you may not be used to this whole adventuring thing, but you just roll with the punches. I suppose. Still, I think we should keep our guard up. Yeah, you do that. I'll keep my eye out for Chip. Amy nodded, but still wasn't sure. Before long, the pair of heroes made their way to Stardust Speedway. The zone was filled with menacing pink and green lights, and badniks swarmed the area. But most importantly for Sonic, the pollution was so bad that the sun itself was blocked out, forcing him into his werehog form. Figures. Keep your eye out, Amy. There has to be at least one more time stone around. Before they could begin looking, the pair heard a cackle from higher up in the zone. Ho ho ho! Looking for this, Sonic? Robotnik presented the final time stone to the pair, literally holding the fate of the future in the palm of his hand. Well, if you want it so bad, you're going to have to earn it. The werehog snarled a bit before his teeth formed a grin. So, all I gotta do to save the planet is beat your sorry butt? Must be my lucky day. Eggman laughed. You think I'm going to risk the time stone on a fist fight with you? Don't be ridiculous. No, you're going to earn this through a race, but not just any race, a special race to prove once and for all that I, Dr. Ivo Robotnik, can build anything better than nature can provide. Robotnik pressed a button, summoning his champion. Now behold the weapon that will be your undoing. My Hyper Metal Werehog. The machine previously known as Metal Sonic stared down his competition. The real werehog returned a death glare. I'll give you this, metalhead. You're resilient. Not many people can take a beating like the one I gave you and walk away. Sonic, of course, wasn't expecting a response, but he got one anyway. I am the Metal Werehog, formerly designated as Metal Sonic, and I was built for the sole purpose of destroying you. Yet you still stand before me. Your very existence is an error and an insult to me that will be corrected. So you give him a fancy voice box, big whoop. Oh, he's got plenty of surprises in store for you, Hedgehog. Metal Werehog has been upgraded with all the battle data I collected from our previous fights. Did you really think I would lose that easily? Ho 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 ho. I told you he was going easy on us. All right, Amy, maybe I should have listened to you this one time. Enough talk. Time to end this rivalry once and for all. On your marks, get set, go! Both werehogs took off, but Metal quickly took the lead. It was apparent that his new form didn't hinder his speed at all, unlike his organic counterpart, who was weighed down by his newfound muscle mass. As much as Sonic sprinted, he couldn't keep up with Metal's jet engine. It was clear the race would be lost. As if the embarrassment of losing at his own game wasn't bad enough, Sonic caught a whiff of a light burning smell. Amy cried out to him, "Sonic, look out!" A death laser emerged from the Eggmobile.
Ho ho ho! You thought I was just gonna let you die of embarrassment? No, such an honor is only for me, Dr. Ivo Robotnik. The energy beam destroyed the road behind Sonic and Amy. The large chunks of metal slabs fell into the abyss, with a huge clank to be heard at the bottom. It was clear they couldn't turn back. They had to keep moving forward. The pair sprinted down the highway, putting any Olympic gymnast to shame. But no matter how fast they ran, it felt as if the death laser was getting closer, and closer, and closer. If we could just turn off this damn laser! That passing comment gave Amy an idea. Sonic, throw me at the Eggmobile. Are you crazy? That laser will burn you to a crisp. Well, unless you got any better ideas, you're just gonna have to trust me, Sonic. Sonic thought hard about it. They were trapped between a laser and a hard metal robot. They didn't have much of a choice. So Sonic chose to trust Amy. With one swift movement, Sonic grabbed Amy by the waist, and with a decisive fastball special, he hurled the pink hedgehog at Robotnik. Right before contact, she curled up into a ball, bonking him right on the noggin. Why, you little... Now in the cockpit with Robotnik, she and the doctor battled for control of the Eggmobile. In the chaos, the Eggmobile had stopped, but Amy couldn't turn off the laser quite yet with Robotnik's interference. Sonic looked up at Amy, impressed with how well she was doing. Hey, leave some for me, Ames. Sonic was about to find a way to climb up there to assist, but then, to Sonic's shock, metal came hurling right back at him. Sonic did the best he could to brace himself. As the two rivals clashed, a titanic shockwave shot out, getting the attention of Amy and Robotnik. Metal? What are you doing? I am fulfilling my function. I will destroy Sonic the Hedgehog. That wasn't my plan, Metal. You were simply meant to humiliate him. I will deal out the final blow. That was your plan. This is mine. Metal Sonic sucker punched the werehog in the face, knocking him to the ground. I will fulfill my purpose and destroy you in the name of the Robotnik Empire, Sonic. But no one else will do it. I'd like to say this wasn't personal, but it is. And here I thought you didn't care. Sonic kicked Metal away with both feet, sending him scraping against the freeway. Metal Werehog made good use of his jet engine to recoil, before launching right back at the Werehog. Our hero braced himself for the impact, catching Metal's fist. Sonic's spiky sneakers scraped into the freeway below his soles, giving him the grip he needed. The pair would edge back and forth, trying their best to overpower the other, but it was no use. They were evenly matched. Robotnik chose to capitalize on this stalemate. With one swift movement, he knocked Amy over the railing as she gripped onto the edge of the Eggmobile. Time to burn, Werehog. With the laser active, the Eggmobile charged towards the Werehog. With only 100 yards to go, Amy saw what was going to happen. You leave my darling Sonic alone! Amy, in one quick and decisive movement, swung up onto the top of the Eggmobile once more, landed on top of Robotnik, and kicked his hand, forcing him to lose control. Yo, you rascal! The egg laser drifted to the side, right above Metal Werehog. He never saw it coming. The remains of Metal Werehog were spread across the freeway. Some random bolts and joints were molded together from the sheer heat of the laser, and the head had rolled off the side of the freeway. But despite the sheer destruction of Metal Werehog, the chest cavity began to shake. Popping out of it was Chip. He was fine, he was alive, and apparently he had been the power source for Metal Werehog. Amy and Sonic were happy to see their friend was safe. Robotnik, on the other hand, was infuriated to find that his plan had been a complete and utter failure. You rodents ruined everything! I was going to use the time stones to reshape this world and the earth in my own image. Huh, fat chance, Doc. Speaking of which, I think you owe us a time stone now. Fine, whatever. Take it. I still have the 6 Chaos Emeralds. This world will be mine, and you will rule the day you ever came across Dr. Ivo. Robotnik was sucker punched into the distance by the werehog. Yeah, that's enough out of you, Doc. Sonic and Amy now had the full set of time stones. They formed together, and in a flash of light, Little Planet was restored. Sonic and Amy had made a good future. The trio met nearby Never Lake as Little Planet prepared to disappear for another 11 months. Sonic had returned to his daytime form and was chatting with Amy. So, Amy, maybe I was a little rough on you earlier.
No, it's fine. I was getting your way. I'm sure you could have handled this without me.
Are you kidding? I would have been toast without you. The way you handled Robotnik and scrambled his plan? You were great.
I guess I did do that.
You're a pretty cool gal, Ames. Amy's smile grew a bit bigger. Say, I still have to get those Chaos Emeralds back from Robotnik. Want to join me?
Yes, 1,000,000 times yes.
Well then, we better get going. We got a world to fix after all. But first, can we go get some snacks? I'm a bit famished after being a robot battery. Fine, okay. One rest stop. But we better get a chili dog. As the group made their way towards Amy's house, she just had to ask.
So, Sonic, since I'm going to be spending a lot of time with you now, would you like to be my...
Let's start as adventure buddies and, see where it goes from there.
Can't blame a girl for asking.
And with that, the allies marched on to their next adventure. And this is where we'll be leaving this what if for right now. So, what do you think will happen next? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'm Comic Fan 13. I hope you have a good day.